students, I am your maths teacher. In the last class, you saw about the basic algebraic properties of complex number and conjugate of a complex number. Today, we are going to see about the modulus of a complex number, geometry and locus of a complex number. Modulus of a complex number. Modulus, I am going to take the complex number. Z represents a complex number which can be written as x plus iy. Here, x is the real part and y is known as the imaginary part. Modulus of z can be written as modulus of x plus iy. In turn, it is written in this form, that is a root of x square plus y square, which means real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square. Now let us see an example. In example, I am taking modulus of z minus 5i, where the 12 is known as the real part. 12 is called as the real part, and minus 5 is known as the imaginary part. If you notice here, you are having a negative sign. So what is the formula? Root of x square plus y square. I am going to apply this formula here. In place of x, I am having the value as 12, and in place of y, I am having the value as minus 5. So just I am replacing, instead of root of x square plus y square, I am writing it as root of 12 the whole square plus minus 5 the whole square. If you calculate, that is 12 square 144, and minus 5 into minus 5 will get the value as positive, that is plus 25. If you simplify, you will get the answer as 13. Properties of modulus of a complex number. First one, modulus of z is equal to modulus of z bar. Second is known as triangle inequality, that is modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2. Third, modulus of z1 into z2. Multiplication of two complex number in a modulus can be written like this, that is modulus of z1 into modulus of z2. Fourth one, modulus of z1 minus z2 is greater than or equal to modulus of z1 minus modulus of z2. That is, if you see, second and fourth one is an important property and you will be using in your sums. Fifth one, in division also we can split and write. Sixth one, if you see, modulus of z to the power n can be written as modulus of z whole to the power n, where n is an integer. Seventh one, real part of z is less than or equal to modulus of z. Eighth one, imaginary part of z is also less than or equal to modulus of z. Using this one, we are going to first prove the triangle inequality, then we are going to do the sums. And in this property, the two important properties, totally we are having 8. In that second and fourth one is very important, and that will be used in our sums, that is in exercise 2.5 we are going to use that properties. Just first go through these properties, then we'll start with the sums. Modulus of z1 plus z2 the whole square can be written like this, that is, I am going to use this property, students, that is modulus of z square is equal to z bar. Z into z bar. In place of z, what I am having? z1 plus z2. So I am going to write like this, z1 plus z2 into z1 plus z2 the whole bar. Please understand the concept. I am using this property, that is modulus of z square. In this place, I am having it as modulus of z1 plus z2 the whole square, which can be written in this way. Second, what I am going to do is modulus of z1 plus z2 into, I am writing this as it is. This bar sign can be written like this, that is z1 the whole bar plus z2 the whole bar. I am splitting this into 2. I am splitting this bar sign into 2. Next, what I am going to do is, I am going to multiply the complex numbers, that is z1 into z1 bar z1 into z2 bar. Like this I am going to multiply. Just see the terms how I am going to write. z1 bar plus z1 z2 bar plus, without changing the order you are going to write. Next one z2 z1 bar plus z2 z2 bar. Now again I am going to use this property, that is z bar can again be written as modulus of z bar the whole square. So these two places can be written as modulus of z bar the whole square. So just see here how I am going to write, that is modulus of z1 the whole square plus, I am going to write these two values inside the bracket, that is z1 z2 bar plus z2 z1 bar plus modulus of z2 the whole square. Now I am going to see the values inside the bracket, students. I am going to target only on z2. Now just I am going to use this property. We know that you can write like this, that is z can be written as z bar the whole bar. Z which can be written as z bar the whole bar, that is z, we can write like this. So in place of z2 I am going to write like this, z2 bar the whole bar, double bar I am going to write. Why I am going to write like this is, I want to write in this format, that is z1 z2 bar. The second term inside the bracket should be also in this model, that is z1 z2 bar. So in this place is very important. Just see here how I am going to write, that is modulus of z1 the whole square plus z1 z2 bar plus z1 z2 bar. Just see here students, both the terms will be looking same, but z1 z2 bar whole bar. Now see here, without changing the meaning I am writing the term, that is z1 bar is as it is, z2 bar the whole bar is nothing but again z2 plus, what is the last term, modulus of z2 the whole square. If you are going to write, if you are going to make any mistake in this place, you can't prove this theorem, students. So be careful in this place. Do the calculation correctly. Next, what I am going to do is, I am going to take another one property, that is we know that a real part of z, r is nothing but real part of z is nothing but z plus z bar by 2. Now if I am going to cross multiply this 2, shall I write like this, that is 2 real part of z is equal to z plus z bar. So in place of z plus z bar I am having this value, that is z plus z bar. Just imagine, in place of z I am having it as z1 z2 bar in my theorem. So just see here students how I am going to write. I am going to replace this concept in this place, that is modulus of z1 the whole square plus 2 real part of z1 z2 bar plus modulus of z2 the whole square. I hope that you are understanding the concept, students. So just take some time to analyze this one. Instead of z I am having the values z1 z2 bar. That is why I am writing the second term also in the form of z1 z2 bar. I am using this property, 2 into real part of z is equal to z plus z bar, students. Now what I am going to do is, again I am going to use another one property here, that is in this place I am going to use the property, that is a real part of z is nothing but is less than or equal to modulus of z. Real part of z can be written as less than or equal to modulus of z. If you notice properly, when I am starting my calculation to prove this property, I am using only equal to signs. Till now I didn't bring less than or equal to. In my question I am having it as less than or equal to. Still I didn't bring the less than or equal to sign. real part of z is less than or equal to modulus of z. Now I am going to use this formula, that is real part of z I am going to replace it as less than or equal to modulus of z. This sign I am going to write it in front. Less than or equal to modulus of z1 the whole square will be as it is, plus 2. Instead of real part of z I am going to write like this: modulus of z1 z2 bar plus modulus of z2 bar the whole square, students. Now if you see here which is less than or equal to, just observe the formula. I am going to use this algebraic formula. That is, what is the algebraic formula we are having here? That is a square plus 2ab plus b square can be written as a plus b the whole square. In place of a, I am writing it as modulus of z1, and in place of b, I am writing it as modulus of z2. So shall I write like this, students? That is, just open the bracket, modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2 the whole square. That is a plus b the whole square. Can be written a square plus 2ab plus b square, which is written as a plus b the whole square. This less than or equal to, I am writing it as it is. This is your right hand side. But left hand side, what is the value I am having here? That is modulus of z1 plus z2 the whole square. If I am going to take square root on both sides, that is taking square root on both sides, we get modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2. Just observe the property, that is, this is a required triangle inequality property, that is modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2, students. In general, we have proved only for 2 complex numbers. Hence, we can prove for n complex numbers. That is, in general, I can tell it as modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2 plus etc. plus modulus of zn can be written as modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2 plus etc. till modulus of zn. And this is the required proof for triangle inequality. Exercise 2.5, first sum. They are asking you to find the modulus of 2i divided by 3 plus 4i. What I am going to do is, first I am going to find the modulus, that is 2i divided by 3 plus 4i is equal to, take the modulus separately, modulus of 2i divided by modulus of 3 plus 4i. And here if you see, I am not having the real part, that is real part is 0, 0 plus 2i divided by modulus of 3 plus 4i. Just for an understanding, I am writing like this, students. If I use the property, what is the meaning? Root of real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square divided by root of real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square. So you will be getting the answer as 0 plus 4 divided by a root of 9 plus 16, which is nothing but root 4 divided by root 25. Will get the answer as 2 divided by 5. Next we are going to see the fourth sum. If modulus of z equal to 3, show that. They are asking you to show this condition. First, what I am going to do is, I am going to use a formula here, students, that is modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2. So what is the property, this one? This is known as triangle inequality. Before this, I am going to write another thing, that is modulus of z1 minus modulus of z2. Using this property, I am going to prove this sum. First, what I am going to do is, I'm going to take this side, that is I'm going to take my right hand side part. Consider modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2. I'm going to take this question. What is the question given here? I'm going to take this question, that is modulus of 6 plus z plus 6 minus 8i. I'm going to take this one, students. So how I'm going to fix my z1 and z2? Here I'm going to take this z as z1 and 6 minus 8i as z2. Now just see here, what I'm going to do is, which is less than or equal to modulus of z plus modulus of 6 minus 8i, which is nothing but less than or equal to, what is the value for modulus of z given here? Modulus of z equal to 3. In place of modulus of z, I am going to replace the value as 3 plus, what is the property for modulus of real part, imaginary part? That is a real part the whole square plus imaginary part is minus 8, that is minus 8 the whole square. And what is the answer I am going to get here, students? 3 plus root of 36 plus 8 8s are 64, which is nothing but less than or equal to 3 plus root of, you will get the value as 100, which is nothing but less than or equal to 3 plus 10, which is nothing but less than or equal to 13. So what is the answer I am getting here? Modulus of 6 z plus 6 minus 8i is less than or equal to 13. Mark it as equation 1. I am just getting my right hand side part. I am getting the value as 13, which is required answer in the given question. Left hand side I should bring the answer as 7. What I am going to do is, I am going to take this part of the formula I am going to take. Just see here how I am going to take here is, consider modulus of z1 minus modulus of z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2. I am going to keep it as it is and I am going to do the calculation. z1, what is the value for z1? I have fixed here, students. z1 is nothing but, according to the question, it is going to be z, and z2 is nothing but 6 minus 8i. I am not going to go for big calculation. Just see here, I will do it the simple step. Modulus of, what is the value here? Modulus of z minus modulus of 6 minus 8i is less than or equal to modulus of z plus 6 minus 8i, which is nothing but modulus of z, what is the value? 3 minus, now only I calculated, what is the answer I am getting for modulus of 6 minus 8i, students? I am getting the value as 10, which is nothing but 10 is less than or equal to modulus of 6 8i, which is nothing but, what is the value? 3 minus 10 is nothing but minus 7. Modulus of minus 7 less than or equal to modulus of z plus 6 minus 8i, which is nothing but modulus of minus 7 can be written as 7. Important, modulus of minus 7 meaning is 7, which is less than or equal to modulus of 6 z plus 6 minus 8i. Mark it as equation 2. You are going to compare from 1 and 2. I am going to get the value as, from 1 and 2 you will get the value as 7 less than or equal to modulus of z plus 6 minus 8i less than or equal to 13. Exercise 2.5, fifth sum. What is the question given here, students? If modulus of z equal to 1, they are asking you to show that 2 less than or equal to modulus of z square minus 3 less than or equal to 4. We are going to use the property which is used in the fourth sum. The same thing I am going to take here. I am going to take the take this part first. That is, I'm going to take this part. Consider modulus of z1 plus z2 is less than or equal to modulus of z1 plus modulus of z2. In place of z1, I'm going to replace z square, and in place of z2, I'm going to take the value as minus 3. That is why I've written here, students. You're going to apply it. Just note this part. Modulus of z square can be written as modulus of z the whole square. And what is the value for modulus of z given here? Equal to 1. So I'm going to replace like this. That is 1 square plus 3, which is nothing but 1 plus 3 equal to 4. And that is the required answer in your right hand side part. And now we are going to find the next one. Next condition I'm using here, students. Next, if I'm using a same way, I'm going to calculate. Just be careful. Modulus of minus 3 is nothing but 3. Again, I'm having a negative sign here. Go do the simplification. Finally, you will get like this. Modulus of minus 2, which is nothing but 2. Comparing 1 and 2, you will get the required answer, which is given in your question. Next, we are going to move on to the 7th sum. Exercise 2.5, 7th sum. If z1, z2 and z3 are three complex numbers such that modulus of z1 equal to 1, modulus of z2 equal to 2, and modulus of z3 equal to 3, and modulus of z1 plus z2 plus z3 equal to 1, they are asking you to show this particular value equal to 6. What I am going to do is, I am going to take these three conditions first. I am writing here, students. Let me explain this one. That is modulus of z1 equal to 1. I'm going to take squaring on both sides. If I'm going to take squaring on both sides, I'll get like this. Modulus of z1 the whole square equal to 1 square. Modulus of z1 square can be written as z1 bar equal to 1. That which is nothing but z1 equal to 1 divided by z1 bar. Similarly, we are going to do for z2 and z3. After doing these values, just for our calculation, we are taking like this. After taking, I am going to see my left hand side. Left hand side is going to be my question, and right hand side I am going to bring this answer 6. Coming to the left hand side part. Left hand side, I am taking the question. First I am going to take z1 into z2. Z1, just see here, z1 into z2 equal to, what is the value for z1? 1 divided by z1 bar, and z2, what is the value? 4 divided by z2 bar. Multiply, you will get the value like this. 4 divided by z1 bar into z2 bar. Similarly, I am multiplying z1 into z3 and z2 into z3. I will be getting the value like this. If you see the numerator you will be having 36. I am going to take it common outside. That is, modulus of 36 will be 36. And the denominator, you will be getting the value like this. I am going to take 36 outside. After taking 36 outside, I will be getting the value like this. You are going to make the denominator same. That is I am going to divide and multiply by z3 bar, z2 bar and z1 bar to adjust in such a way to get the denominator value like this. After that, you are going to do the simplification. You are going to apply the properties. After applying the property, I am going to substitute the value which is given in your question. That is modulus of z1 plus z2 plus z3 equal to 1 and the respective values. Finally, you will get the answer as 6, which is the required answer in your right hand side part. Exercise 2.5, 10th sum. They are asking you to find the square root for this particular value. Before that, to find the square root of a complex number, I am going to use this particular formula, students. This is the real part, and plus this is going to be your imaginary part. And in this, you are going to note, if b is negative, then b divided by modulus of b equal to minus 1, then x and y have different sign. The meaning for this one is the final answer you will have different sign, they are telling you. Similarly, if b is positive, means b divided by modulus of b equal to 1, that x and y have same sign. Take the question, write the question, root of minus 6 plus 8i. Here, the value for a equal to minus 6, b equal to 8, and modulus of z, if you calculate, you will get the answer as 10. Then, after applying the formula, you are going to simplify the term. Just simplify the term. 8, mod 8 is nothing but, it's going to be 8. Here you are going to get a positive value. So automatically your final answer will also be positive. Just do the calculation, students. Finally you will get the answer like this. You can stop up to like this, or you can stop in this way. Exercise 2.6, first sum. What is the question given here? Modulus of z minus 4i divided by z plus 4i equal to 1. Just see the calculation, student. First what I am going to do is, I am going to split the modulus separately for numerator and denominator according to the property. After splitting, I am cross multiplying the term. So what is the value I am getting here? Modulus of z minus 4i equal to modulus of z plus 4i. In place of z, I am going to replace this value, that is x plus iy. That is, in place of left hand side and right hand side is z, I am replacing it as x plus iy. Just see the calculation, students. After replacing, next step what I am doing is, I am just removing the bracket. X plus iy minus 4i is equal to x plus iy plus 4i. If you observe this one, you are having real part and imaginary part. Imaginary part can be identified by the alphabet I. Next step what I am doing is, I am just arranging the real part separately and imaginary part separately. Similarly for left hand side as well as right hand side, I am doing this calculation. According to the formula, modulus of x plus iy can be written as root of x square plus y square, that is real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square. Using that formula, I am writing like this, that is a real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square. What is the imaginary part I am having here? Y minus 4 the whole square. Similarly for right hand side also I am doing this work. Next what I am doing is, just I am cancelling this square root by taking squaring on both sides. Be clear, I am just cancelling only the outside square root. Inside the powers will be as it is, that is x square plus y minus 4 the whole square is equal to x square plus y plus 4 the whole square. I am bringing all the terms to my left hand side. Just see here, students, after bringing all the terms to my left hand side, what I am doing here is, I am cancelling x square plus x square and minus x square. The remaining terms I am writing it as it is. Now what is the formula I am going to apply here is, you know the formula, that is a minus b the whole square is equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. Similarly, a plus b the whole square, what is the formula? A square plus b square plus 2ab. I am applying that formula. I am just splitting the terms. Just observe the calculation. You are going to simplify the terms. After simplifying, after doing all the calculations, the final value will be like this, that is only one term you will be having, that is minus 16y equal to 0. Again what I am doing here is, just I am cross multiplying the term. Minus 16, if I bring here 0 divided by minus 16, we will be getting it as 0. The remaining, what is the alphabet I am having here? Y equal to 0. So according to this sum, y equal to 0 means, I can say that imaginary part is 0. If imaginary part is 0, then I can tell that real part exists. That is, the locus of z is an real axis. Next we are going to do the second sum. Exercise 2.6 second sum. They are given you this question. IM means imaginary part. We are going to bring, that is, they are asking you to show that you are going to have this answer, that is 2x square plus 2y square plus x minus 2y equal to 0. I am going to bring this answer. First, what is the condition given here? Imaginary part. I am inside this, I am going to take only this value, that is 2z plus 1 divided by iz plus 1. In place of z, I am going to replace the value as x plus iy. Like the first sum, I am going to do my simplification. Just see, students, we are having the calculations. I have done it step by step. You are going to observe the calculation. And one thing, see here, if you are going to have I square, that is the value for I to the power 2 is minus 1. Whenever you are going to get, wherever you are going to get I square, you are going to replace the value as minus 1. After replacing, just I am arranging the real part and imaginary part. Please arrange it properly. Take time to do the sum. If you do it carefully, you will understand the concept. You can easily identify wherever you are going to have the alphabet I. That means that is called as imaginary part. And the term without I is called as the real part. After bringing in this form, just see the denominator. What is the denominator I'm having here? 1 minus y plus ix plus I. That is, if I want to take conjugate means, I'm going to change the sign before imaginary part. What is the sign I'm having here? Positive. So I'm going to divide and multiply by negative. That is, just see here 1 minus y minus ix. I'm dividing and multiplying. That is, I'm taking conjugate for the complex number. Simplify the terms. Denominator, if you see, I'm having in this form. That is, a plus b into a minus b can be written as a square minus b square. Formula, that is algebraic formula, a square minus b square. In place of a, I am having it as 1 minus y. In place of b, I am having it as x. In place of b, I am having it as ix. So be clear. In place of b, I am having it as ix. So I am writing like that. That is a square minus b square, students. Can simplify the terms. Finally, you will be getting a term like this. You will be getting a big term like this. That is, you are going to see the calculation, students. I am not going to read it completely. Please understand the calculation, simplification you are going to do. I am going to just focus only on the imaginary part. Why I am going to focus only on imaginary part is, in my question they are given you as IM. You are going to calculate only the imaginary part. So what is the imaginary part I am having here? That is the term with I. Again I can write, just I will do one more step here. If I want to take the imaginary part alone, if I just observe the imaginary part here is, that is x 2x plus 1 plus 2y 1 minus y divided by denominator 1 minus y the whole square plus x square. That is, for real part and imaginary part, we will be splitting the denominator. So you will be getting this as your imaginary part. Given question, I am writing it as it is, students. Inside this only, till now we have done the calculation. Now I am taking only the imaginary part answer. After taking the imaginary part answer, I am getting like this. That is, if you see here, minus x 2x plus 1. That is, just see the simplification. I am taking only the imaginary part. Cross multiply the term. Denominator term will be vanished. If you see, you will be having only the numerator part. You are going to do the simplification, and after doing all the simplification, what the answer what is required in your question, you will get that particular answer. That is 2x square plus 2y square plus x minus 2y equal to 0. Next we are going to see the third sum. Exercise 2.6, third sum, 3-1. They are given you this question. I am going to bring the answer in the form of Cartesian form. Cartesian form is nothing but equation. Just see here, what is the question given here? Real part of iz the whole square equal to 3. Real part of iz. First I am going to take the value iz. In place of z, as it is x plus iy, I am going to replace, simplify the term. The value for I square is minus 1. Replace, I will be getting the final value for iz as minus y plus ix. Next, take a real part of iz. First I am taking iz, calculating the term, then a real part of iz. What is the meaning of real part of iz? I am going to take only the real part. Here, what is the real part? Just see, students, a real part. RP means real part. Real part is minus y. Imaginary part, I am just writing it as IPX. I am just taking the real part. What is the real part? Minus y. I am writing the given question. Real part of I is the whole square, that is minus y the whole square equal to 3. That implies y square equal to 3 is the required Cartesian equation for the given question. Coming to the second sum, just see the second sum. Same way, I am going to take the value first inside. Inside I am taking the value. You are going to replace this z by x plus iy. After replacing, what I am doing is I am going to simplify the terms. Be careful. In place of I means I cannot do anything. But if it is going to be I square means I can write it as minus 1. Replace the terms, simplify. You will be getting like this. That is, I am going to take only the imaginary part values. So what is the imaginary part I am having here?
plus iy minus ix. While I am writing the imaginary part, I will not write this I when I am replacing the values. That is, I am taking only y minus x. I am not writing it as ix minus iy. That is, just see here, I am taking only the imaginary part values, that is y minus x. After taking what is the required question given here, the imaginary part is equal to 0. So y minus x equal to 0 is the required Cartesian equation for the given question.
Exercise 2.6, fourth sum. Fourth sum, we are going to use this formula, that is modulus of z minus z naught equal to r. This represents the equation of a circle in a complex number, that is z minus z naught equal to r. Z naught is nothing but center and r is the radius. We are going to do the calculation based on this formula, that is modulus of z minus z naught equal to r. In the question 4, I am going to take the third one. Third one, they are given you this question, that is modulus of 3z minus 6 plus 12i equal to 8. I am going to bring this particular question in this form. So what I am going to do here is, first I am going to take 3, that is I am going to take this 3 common outside, because in place of z I should not have any other value other than 1. So what I am going to do here is 3 z, 3, I am taking 3 common outside inside the modulus, 3 into z minus 2 plus 4i equal to 8. Next, what I am going to do here is, I am going to take this 3 outside the modulus, that is I am going to split the modulus into 2, that is modulus of 3 into modulus of z minus 2 plus 4i equal to 8. Modulus of 3 is nothing but 3, so I am going to cross multiply the term. If I cross multiply, I will get like this, that is z minus 2 plus 4i equal to 8 divided by modulus of 3 can be written as 3. So till this I hope you are understanding, students. Next, what I am going to do is, if you observe here, you are going to have negative sign, that is z minus z naught. So in this place I am going to write like this, modulus of z. I am going to take this negative outside. That is, if you are going to take negative sign outside, means I will be getting like this, 2 minus 4i equal to 8 by 3. So it is of the form, that is modulus of z minus z naught equal to r. So in place of z naught you are having this value, and in place of r I am having it as 8 by 3. Therefore, center z naught equal to 2 minus 4i and radius r equal to 8 by 3. Next, we are moving on to the last sum, that is the fifth question. Exercise 2.6, fifth sum. So fifth sum, what is the question? First question, they are asking you to find the Cartesian equation, students. That is, I told you it will be in the form of equation. That is, first one, what is the thing they are given you? Modulus of z minus 4 equal to 16. In place of z, I am going to replace the value as x plus iy. Same thing we are going to do here. After replacing, what I am doing here, I am just arranging the real part and imaginary part separately inside the modulus. After arranging, what is the formula we will be applying for x plus iy? Modulus of x plus iy is nothing but root of x square plus y square. That is real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square. The same way I am done here. Real part the whole square. Root of square root of real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square equal to 16. Taking the square root to other side, you will be getting it as power 16 square. Then what I am doing here is, I am applying the algebraic formula, that is a minus b the whole square, that is a square plus b square minus 2ab plus y square. 16 square is nothing but 256. Simplify the term, you will get the value as x square plus y square minus 8x minus 240 equal to 0. Coming to the second question, just see the second question, students. This exercise is actually very easy. Replace the z by x plus iy. Replace the value. If you notice, I'm having power 2 here. Just keep this in your mind. I'm arranging the real part and imaginary part, students. After arranging, what is the value I'm getting here? That is modulus of x minus 4 plus iy the whole square minus modulus of x minus 1 plus iy the whole square equal to 60. Next, what I'm going to do is, inside I'm going to use the property, that is modulus of x plus real part plus imaginary part can be written as root of real part the whole square plus imaginary part the whole square whole to the power 2. That is, this 2 I am writing it as it is. So keep this in your mind. We are writing this 2 as it is. Automatically what happened is, if you are going to have a term like this, that is root a the whole square, means what is the meaning, students? A to the power 1 by 2 into 2. This 2 will get cancelled, so remaining I'll be having only a. The same way, square and root will get cancelled. What is the term inside? Just see the powers. 2, 1 by 2 will get cancelled, that is square root will get cancelled. Inside power 2 will be as it is, x minus 4 the whole square plus y square minus x minus 1 the whole square minus y square equal to 60. Cancel the y term. The remaining you will be having like this. You are going to use the algebraic identity. What is algebraic identity I'm going to have here, students? That is a minus b the whole square equal to a square plus b square minus 2ab. Simplify the term, remove the bracket, change the sign, do all the calculations. Finally, you will get the value as minus 6x minus 1 equal to 0, which can be written as 6x plus 1 equal to 0. In this class, we have completed exercise 2.5 and 2.6, students. Please go through the properties and condition and then do the sum. Thank you.